You got a question?
Why is like a big portion of the world they just like play games? Like, or like I know a lot of guys that play games. Like I know a lot of guys that just I know a lot of guys that play games. I know a lot of girls that play game. Where does that stem from?
Fear.
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 Yeah.
What do you mean by games?
Just like, oh, don't try too hard. Do this. Like, be toxic. Being toxic is gonna help. Just like, where does that idea stem from?
Yeah, fear. Power games. Power games, yeah. It's like trying to get, it's a sort of red approach to relationships in a way. It's like trying to get control and power over the relationship because in real love, you actually don't have control. You've like given yourself to the person and, you know, your heart is open and they can hurt you. That's the honest truth in relationships. And that's scary, which then causes, if the person's not handling the fear or the trust isn't there, then it causes all these games to start to happen. And, you know, I've played those games when I was young, like teenager for sure, early 20s for sure. I've been in relationships with girls that were playing those games. And it like, at best, prolongs the period of time that it takes to make a real connection. Like at best, and at worst, it just, the relationship never gets off the ground for real. The real relationship, which means like you're connecting not on the level of your fear complex, but love. And love and fear, like we were saying, they're two opposite ends of the pole. So fear suppresses love. Are you like struggling with that, or like someone that's doing that?
Most of the girls I've interacted with, they play these games, and I'm like, I notice it, but it's like they're all like that. How do I deal with it? Do I just, if I see that, do I just run the other way, or do I just like try to like get the best out of her and be like, oh, this is maybe not what you want, kind of thing?
What I do, I mean, yeah, I thankfully don't encounter it too much anymore, but what I would imagine I would do if I was faced with it, and well, to be honest with you, I can't see myself being super interested if that's the case. But let's say I was for some reason, I would just be direct with it. Like, meet it with honesty. And then if they're not up for playing that kind of game, then it's probably not the right relationship. So if you can just meet it directly, what's an example of a game?
They'll like give you signals like, oh, I'm interested in you, or like, we should really do this and that, and then another moment later, like, oh wait, what? No, not really. Like, I don't actually like you, kind of thing.
So yeah, I just had this memory come back from. So I was in Cape Town at the time, and I had sort of ended seeing this one girl, and her friend started messaging me afterwards, and it was quite weird for me. It wasn't like, it didn't end up being like that, but it set off red flags for me. And I was with these two friends, Chris and Joe are their names. They're both from South Africa. They have maybe the healthiest relationship I've ever seen. They've been together for like maybe 12 years at this point. They're turning 40. They just like have each other's back. You know, they've been through it all, and like both just amazing people. And so Chris, you know Chris.
Chris Biddle?
Yeah. Sick guy. Like I cannot say enough good things about this guy. So anyway, and a no bullshit kind of guy. He's like very genuine, but just simply direct. And so I'm kind of like on my phone with Chris, like, this girl, like her friend keeps talking to me, like, what's going on? And he just said to me, he said something that had like never occurred to me. He was like, just ask her like what she's trying to get out of this. Just say to her like, what's your deal? You know, not in a mean way, but just like, hey, what's going on? Like, what do you need? Why are you, like, cut to the chase, not like this small talk, because this is weird. Like, what do you need? And I did that. And, you know, initially she got kind of defensive, and then she said something like, well, I just have to get Amy's stuff from your place or whatever. But it just like met that sort of game directly head on. And that stuck with me, because I was like, oh, this is like kind of a veteran of the relationship game. And that was such a simple solution to the problem. Because I can sit there and be uncomfortable in this game for who knows how long it would have gone on for, or I can just say like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Just meet it directly. And then people self-select, you know, the people that are still playing games probably will filter out of your life over time.